Hey, what's up, guys? Rolling out some more Halloween Ends discussion topics here. We're about 5 days away from seeing the movie, or at least I am. I'm sure most of you are too if you're watching this video. I'm excited. So before I get into today's topic, tell me down in the comments, on a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you to see Halloween Ends in the near future? For me, my level would probably be, I don't know, maybe like 1,000. Kidding, guys. I'm kidding. But no, if asked to rate, I'd probably say 9.5. I am pumped. Can't believe it's coming this soon. So, today's topic, if you couldn't tell by the thumbnail and the name of the video, we are going to be talking about is Laurie Strode the new Loomis in this trilogy. Lots to discuss. Let's get into it.
If you like horror, hit that notification bell, smash that like button, and push that subscribe button now.
What's the boogeyman?
Hello, Sydney.
Welcome to my nightmare. We want the man who did this.
Welcome to Nick Push's Horror Channel.
So about a week ago, guys, I was given my thoughts on the final trailer, which I loved, by the way. And I did have a couple nitpicks, though. Basically, Laurie, giving puns, Laurie being the aggressor in this new trilogy. And one of my viewers, one of you guys, made a comment, and it's a long comment, but one of the comments in there stuck with me. And he basically said, you got to view Laurie as the Loomis of this trilogy. I think it was like Million. Can't remember. I'm probably butchering your name. I apologize. But it got me thinking a little bit this week. Is he right? Is Laurie the new Loomis of this trilogy? So I kind of wanted to break it down for you guys. And how I'm going to do that, I have nothing written down, guys. So I'm going to do that by just shooting from the hip. Usually on my other screen, I have some bullet points and like to bring things up. Not this time. I thought this would be better to do kind of conversational and just kind of work through it together and give my thoughts, and then we'll kind of come up with a consensus. So tell me down in the comments, guys, do you think Laurie is the Loomis of this trilogy? And if so, does it work for you? So let's talk about Laurie Strode and Dr. Loomis. Before we get into Laurie, let's think about Loomis in this franchise. Loomis is basically, the Ahab of this franchise, always chasing, Moby Dick. Myers obviously being his Moby Dick. Yeah, Myers is a dick, right? But he's constantly chasing him, constantly warning others about him. He was his doctor, so he spends the first movie, giving fancy talk to Sheriff Brackett. Spends the second movie realizing his worst fear, that he was right about it. And, in the second movie, he gives his life to stop Myers and save Laurie. Comes back for the fourth movie. The logistics of that obviously don't make any sense. But let's look past that. And he's a little crazier. He knows there's nothing he can do to stop it. But as he says to who is that? The cop in Brackett's house. Maybe nobody knows how to stop Michael, but I've got to try. And that kind of sums Loomis up, right? He doesn't think he can stop Michael, but he's going to try, damn it. So Loomis is just always chasing after Myers. Okay? Myers isn't necessarily chasing after him, but Loomis is chasing after Myers. So let's break down Laurie Strode in this new trilogy. In Halloween 2018, she is waiting for Michael, right, to come after her. She has been just like Loomis in the fact where she is warning everybody, especially her family, for years that Michael is coming back, that he is coming for her, right? And then finally he does, so she thinks, right? And she loses her son-in-law, Ray, and sets up that trap that presumably she set years ago, and she won, so she thought. Then in Halloween Kills, obviously she is relegated to the hospital, and here is where we get, in my opinion, a little more Loomis-ishness. Is that a word? It's a word now, okay? But basically she is using she was basically using language like Loomis would use, right? Talking about how powerful Myers is, how he transcends, the evil transcends things. That's language that Loomis would use, right? You know, like Loomis's Devil's Eyes monologue. So as we get into Halloween Kills and she's relegated where Myers isn't coming after her, I think that is where we start to get Laurie more in a Loomis role. And of course, Laurie is then told by Hawkins, and she comes to the realization that Myers wasn't after her earlier that night in Halloween 2018, that it was never about her. So that is a huge revelation for her. She has wasted, essentially, wasted her entire life waiting for Michael to come for her, thinking it was all about her. Now she knows it's not. So the question is, how is that going to impact her in Halloween Ends? What we've seen from the trailers is, you know, she is ready for Michael, right? She is, as Allison says, you know, you act like you're, I can't remember the exact quote, but you act like you moved on, but you're really just obsessed with death. So I think she's kind of a hybrid, right? She is kind of a final girl, but not really. But she's also got that Loomis aspect to her. So I'm going to say that yes, Laurie is essentially the Loomis of this new trilogy. But it's not, you know, apples to apples, right? It's kind of apples to oranges, because she has this history with Myers where Myers went after her and has, you know, and has killed, you know, her child, where Loomis was just his doctor. There are pluses and minuses to both as far as hunting Michael, right? Look, nobody is going to replace Donald Pleasance. Nobody is going to replace Dr. Loomis. Laurie Strode, Jamie Lee Curtis included, okay? Loomis is the one that told us what Michael was. He told us what we saw with our eyes in that first movie was weird, right? That, you know, something's off with this guy. Something's off. He's, you know, is he supernatural? Is he not? Loomis is the one that, you know, brought that window. And just those couple moments in the Halloween 1978, he brought that window into, you know, what is this guy? What is going on here? This guy's not human, right? You know, it isn't a man. You know, Loomis is the one that told us that. And Laurie has picked up the mantle of that. I think they have done a decent job of kind of juggling, you know, the final girl and the Loomis, right? Like I said, Laurie will never replace Loomis. Loomis is my favorite character in the franchise, Michael included, okay? We got to get over the fact that we ain't going to see Donald Pleasance anymore as Dr. Loomis, you know? We're just not. So the fact that they're using Laurie in that respect, I think, is smart. Now, I think they could have done a much better job with her in that kind of role, especially in Halloween 2018. You know, she makes a joke to Sartain, "You're the new Loomis." No, Laurie, you're the new Loomis. And they should have went with that more. You know, Michael should have been going after random babysitters, which he was, but Laurie should have been kind of hunting him more. You know, she was warning people. I know she was, but they should have had more of a Loomis aspect in what Laurie was doing in 2018. It shouldn't have been Michael going to Laurie's house. You know, whether she's, you know, warning these people and going to save Allison when Allison is babysitting or what. I'm not saying put on a trench coat, guys, you know, but they should have tapped into it more. So I think she is the new Loomis in this trilogy. I think they could have done a better job with it, though. But yeah, like I said, it's not apples to apples. It's kind of apples to oranges, especially, you know, 40 some odd years later. But I think if you look at it like Laurie is Loomis, you can get past the fact that, you know, Michael is killing all these people. He's crushing Sartain's head. He's, you know, destroying a mob, and then he's having trouble with a 65-year-old woman or whatever, however old she is. You know, personally, thinking about it like Laurie is kind of Loomis, it helps with that. It might not help with you, and maybe when I see Halloween Ends, it's not going to work for me, or maybe it's really going to work for me. We'll see. So I'm excited to watch Halloween Ends in that respect. Tell me what your guys' thoughts are. Like I said, are you excited for this movie? And is Laurie the new Loomis in this trilogy? And does it work for you? Like I said, it works for me. in a manner of speaking. So, love to hear your guys' thoughts. I will see you next time.